Hey guys, it's Slynk here, and in this video I'm going to show you a little bit on how I do my drums. I'm probably going to split it up into a couple of videos because I've got a lot of stuff to tell you about drums. But in this video I'm going to show you how to process some samples to get them to sound a bit cooler and put them in a drum rack with, make a pattern and a groove and stuff like that. So let's get started here. I found this snare sample. Oh, let me just turn that up. There we go. And it's kind of cool, but we can make it sound cooler. So what I'm going to do is throw on an alloy and an ozone 5 maximizer. And the maximizer is going to move the character to very fast. And that's just going to limit the sound. Not doing anything yet. And the alloy, we're going to do some EQing. I'm going to boost up 200 Hertz. And this is going to kind of make the bass of the snare like a bit fatter. I'm going to EQ the actual sub range out. But this bass, the bass of the snare is what makes it really cut through. And we'll give it a little more highs too. So it's starting to sound a bit better, but we need some multi-band transient shaping here. So let's just tweak the ranges a little bit and just play with the attacks on the different ranges. That sounds okay, but maybe we'll try fading the tail out because it's quite a long sort of snare. That's not bad, that's not bad. I usually like my snares to sound kind of live anyway. That's not too bad. Okay. So I'm going to set this channel to resampling mode, and there we go. You can see the waveform difference. This is pretty gutless, and this one's a bit more chunky. Yeah, so we can drag that into our drum rack over here. But I'd also like to hear what it sounds like if we process it with the same processing a second time. It's probably a bit too intense. Alright. Set the volume to 0, turn the velocity down, and rename it to snare. Done. Let's get a kick going. Just going to grab a bass drum from... let's do a hi-hat while we're here. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Rename that. Make sure you rename everything, guys, because saves confusion later. Bass drum, let's choose one of these. That'll do. Let's drag that in to the same processing channel we've already set up. And I'm going to change this EQ in a little bit. Well, a lot actually. Excuse me. And we'll tweak the transient shaping. We probably don't need that much mid-range. And we want like the kick to sort of snap. That sounds pretty cool. Let's just bounce it down like that. Alright, and you can see like in the waveform, like look at that. This kick as it is from a Vengeance pack, it kind of fades in. Whereas the one I just made is like much louder at the start. And probably sound a little cooler. So let's drag that in to here. Kick. And set the volume to 0, turn the velocity down. And another trick is if we move this in so that the sample stops playing in the middle and we lose this tail, you'll make a punchier kick. but you've got to make sure that you've got snap activated, because that way it'll cut the sample right in the middle of a wavelength, so you don't get any weird clicks at the end of your kicks. That sounds pretty cool to me. Let's just leave the hat how it is. We could try the same thing here as well. Nah, I like it how it was. Alright, sweet. Let's get another kick as well, because I like to have a second kick in there, which is kind of like a fake pre-kick to the real kick. So you've got a big kick, but a little kick in front of it, so it's sort of like gudung. So let's get like a something like that would work pretty good. I'll just drag it straight in, and I'm going to call this pre-kick, and we'll adjust the attack on it. Set the volume to 0, turn the velocity down. Sweet. Let's get a pattern going. So Control Shift M or Command Shift M to make a new MIDI clip, and we'll get a hi-hat on every quarter note to start with. Cool, and we'll get a snare on 1.2 and 1.4 and so on. Cool. Let's put in some kicks. And this is where the pre-kick comes in. Listen to this. Hear that? It's kind of like a fake kick. Let's adjust the attack a little bit. And we can also use the filter. Maybe too much on the attack. That's cool, that's cool. Alright. And I'll just duplicate this as is. Now, because the hat is playing at the same time as the kicks and snares, we're peaking a little bit here. So let's just select the snare. Let's just select everything and just turn it down slightly. Alright, so that beat sounds alright, but it's got no soul, it's got no guts, no funk. No funk, that's the word I'm looking for. It's got no funk. So let's make a groove so that the beat has something to groove to here. I just made a MIDI clip and I'm just adding notes in. And we're not going to be hearing these notes, we're just going to use these notes to sort of shuffle the groove around. I'll show you in a minute. I don't normally do this because I've made like one groove and I just like use that for every song. But this is basically how we do it. So I've got a note there every quarter note, and if we go into a triplet grid and just move like every second one over a little bit, and then right click on this and go extract groove and apply the groove to our drums here. Now we've got a bit of a funky kind of groove to the drums, yeah? Let's go back out of, oh yeah, we're still out of triple grid. Yeah, so that sounds pretty cool. The other thing I would do is potentially add a reverb onto the whole drum rack. A really short, tight reverb can sound pretty cool, make it sound a little live, and we can add some stereo to it so that it widens the drums slightly, but I like to do it very subtly So we'll turn the low cut on because we don't want to have any bass in the reverb. And I just turned this other bullshit off. Let's set the quality to high, whatever that does. I'm not really sure. Put the size to 2. So this is like the size of the room. So we want it to be a tight reverb, like so that it sounds like someone sitting in a room playing the drums, not sitting in like a coliseum and playing the drums. So a small size, small decay time, and we'll play with the dry and wet. If we just listen to the reverb on its own, it's kind of cool to hear what's actually happening. And you can mostly hear that in the hi-hats and snare. It's subtle, but you know, every little bit helps to make your drum sound cool. So yeah, that's basically it for this part. In the next part I'm going to show you how to add in some percussion and chop up some samples and stuff probably. But hopefully this tutorial has been helpful for you in making some fat sounding drums. And yeah, get out there and make some cool drums, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!